What is going on, guys? So I'm up, can't sleep. So I decided I'm gonna do this video and my thoughts on the Batman game, Arkham Knight, and why it's not worth it, and the laziness of it, especially creativity wise with the writing. Now, I love the graphics, the mechanics are good, they handle nice. I love that you can play with the Batmobile. And that's about all it has going for it. So, as we go along, I'm going to be playing the cutscenes here, what I'm looking at, and explaining to them. Now, obviously, in our first scene, our first shot, we get Commissioner Gordon voiceover explaining about the Joker, him cremating the Joker, burning the Joker, and all that mess. That's all fine and dandy. Now, we know the second cutscene after you beat the campaign mission is that you get to see this scene over again, but the only thing different about it is that the Joker supposedly, quote unquote, comes back to life, and he just laughs while he dies burning. Yeah, that's about it. Now, for me, what I would have chose, I would have chose the second ending. Not only would I would have chose that second ending, but it's also a second opening as well. Well, I don't want to say second ending. We're just gonna call it a second opening, and I really appreciate it, especially the backward smile bat symbol with the Joker's laughter, and especially the outro when he says, "This is how it happened. This is how the Joker died, not how the Batman died." So I really would have enjoyed that one myself more so. And from there we get to play as this cop that goes to this diner, obviously. But before we do that, we do know that everyone was waiting for a power struggle, which I totally find unrealistic in the Batman universe. The only other two power struggles that would have been is obviously between Two-Face and the Penguin, because they obviously clearly do not like each other. Well, I would have done this scene different. There are some parts that we can either tweak or take out altogether because a lot of it ain't necessary. Well, I appreciate the opening scene, but I still would have written in there to be a power struggle between the Penguin and Two-Face. As you're this cop walking towards the diner, I appreciate that. However, I would like to experience a little bit more with this cop, play a little bit more with this cop. Well, we do know that somebody complains of somebody smoking, and it's one of Scarecrow's minions and fear toxins, and all hell breaks loose. What I would appreciate, just write that whole scene out, and I would have had it where you had to tussle with them, you take them down to GCPD, and you're driving down towards GCPD. And then all chaos and hell breaks loose. Now, we do know this takes period and over about a day's time, probably till the next day. Almost around 35 hours, I do believe. I think it's 3 days. Dogs are barking. But I would have... Hold up. Okay. So, I would have had it where, while you taking it on GCPD, I would have had it where he released the toxin in the car, and all hell breaks loose, and it made the news. Now, we do know that the Scarecrow makes his appearance. Now, this is where I'm going to pause at. This is where I have a problem at. The game is called Arkham Knight. It doesn't focus anything on the Arkham Knight. It focuses more on the Scarecrow. So they should have went with their original title, which was the City of Fear. Would have made so much more sense. Well, everyone's evacuating. The Scarecrow makes his big threat, and we're already Batman. So that's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with that whole introduction. I get that it takes place in 3 days, 35 hours, I believe, and it takes place on Halloween. Still keep Halloween, but I would have made it 24 hours, and I would have had it to where your Bruce Wayne You're stuck in Bruce Wayne's tower. You wait till the next day for a while till everyone's cleared out of Gotham. You change into your Batman suit because obviously in the game you do get to go into Wayne Tower, and there's a little button thing where you can press and the bat suit and all that. I would have enjoyed that. Then walk out the window, go see Commissioner Gordon, as you do in the game, and it's still in the opening intro, and you go save a cop. This is yet again what I have a problem with in this game as well. It's always military tactics, military this, armored this, tanks this. I have a problem with that. That's overwritten. That's over milking the cow. This whole entire game of Arkham Knight is beating a dead horse with a stick and over milking a cow. For once, let it be where the Scarecrow doesn't have money, right? Because it's obviously he doesn't. But he has some kind of funding. But have it to where it's like a street goons. Have them with armored vehicles like Cadillacs, with your regular standard fire-powered guns, hit missile launchers that will give the GCPD a hard time. I would appreciate that way more than I would the military tactics. I honestly to God would. It just seemed to fit way more better. Now, the whole Poison Ivy scene where you save Poison Ivy from where she's immune to it, that whole thing can get cut out. It needs to, she can come in later on in the game, but that whole sequence with that can be completely cut out. It's not even needed at all. So that you can just cut the whole scene out. You can go straight to Ace Chemicals. And this is where I have a problem with Ace Chemicals. We get introduced to the Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight can be completely cut out from this game. He's not even needed. I would like to be introduced to a big bad goon with who stole some helicopters, with some firearms on it. That would have made more sense in this military tactic bullshit. Okay? I would like it that they kept the introduction in the game where you do get to meet the Scarecrow in Ace Chemicals rather than being in an air balloon. I do appreciate the air balloons, levels. You could still keep that. Okay, but keep it in for something like a side mission. It doesn't have to be part of the main mission at all. And it doesn't need to be that way. Well, throughout the time, you're trying to stop the Scarecrow. You can keep it as that. You can keep it as such as that. Okay? And his goons are so big, right? Like a lot of them just came right out of nowhere. That, yeah, they are going to be spreaded over Gotham. You can still keep that. And have it to where certain bad guys, still running loose. But even with a lot of the side missions, don't even really tie into the main story. I understand they're side missions, but at least have some of them tie in together. Not all of them. I do appreciate saving the firefighters. You can keep that. Firefly, that could have been cut out. No need for that. The Two-Face thing, I would have, rather than robbing banks, there's some kind of vendetta, obviously, with Red Hood. Just don't like him. I would have Jason Todd in here as Red Hood. Has his own little side mission story with Two-Face, because he does kill him, and Two-Face does die in the game in the DLC pack. You will still include that. Don't make it as a DLC pack. You can still have Nightwing stopping the Penguin. And I would have thrown in, now this is me, throwing the other Robin to stop Harley Quinn. Okay? And have Batman still focus in on his mission that he's need to do, and where you can jump around in between these characters. Now, eventually, I would appreciate to play as Batgirl, but we all know Oracle cannot walk. So, throughout all this, you do eventually stop the Scarecrow. However, the whole split personality thing with the Joker could have been completely... There was no need for it. They could have took that out. I get what they're trying to do. And they did that better in Arkham City, and that's the only thing they really had going for them. Okay, they really focused in on a lot of the best things in Arkham City that in this game they overmilked it. Because the thing is this: there can't be a Batman without a Joker. There can't be a Joker without Batman. Okay, Joker's greatest fear is being forgotten. Also, he wants to be wanted by Batman because he's in love with Batman. Batman's greatest fear is that he will no longer be needed. Now, one part of the game that isn't needed for Batman to have his identity shown and for him to blow up his manor and think everyone he's dead just to save Gotham. Gotham's still gonna have its problems. They really focused on that, and Batman Return of the Dark Knight 1 and 2, and Batman Beyond. Okay, especially Return of the Joker. So there'd be no need for that. I would like to see Batman continue until he gets to his older years. We do know that there's going to be another Batman game. It's in the making, obviously, and it's going to be an Arkham Knight title. We do know Bruce Wayne's going to be an elderly in this one, and his son Damian Wayne's going to take up the Batman mantle. Well, where does this leave Arkham Knight? Arkham Knight is a rewrite. Okay, you guys heard me. It is a rewrite of Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, because a lot of the main places they're sending you back and forth really in the air balloons, and they try to make it similar to where you're going back and forth just like you did in Arkham Asylum. There was no need for that. No need at all. I would like to also have more of a backstory to where has the Scarecrow been all this time? Okay, it's obviously he's been missing about a year. From what it's, a good year, I would say. So, because if I remember correctly, I think Asylum takes place in November. Okay, 6 months later, Arkham City takes place around July. Okay, October comes around, and it's Halloween, and we do know that is a full year. So, where has the Scarecrow been? That would have been nice to focus on. But a lot of the writing, just so much jump around, and none of it made any sense, is that it's just really very poor. It's not even that well creative. And you're just rewriting two games, especially Arkham City. Okay, it's beating a dead horse with a stick. And a lot of this in this game still has tie-ins with the Justice League. A lot of the main missions and the problems Batman really couldn't handle on his own, he could have called in the Justice League for help. That would have made the most logical sense. And you could have played as some of the Justice League characters within this game. But because it didn't have that, is because so much of it is still just so badly written. Now, I like the Dr. Pig side quest. However, I would have made the character in that side quest a little bit more Texas Chainsaw Massacre-ish. I see what they were going for, but I could have did it a little bit more better, I feel like. And will Arkham Knight ever live up to its predecessor series? No. I mean, a lot of people didn't care much for Arkham Origins, but at least it had a solid story and explained a lot. I liked it. I appreciated it. It was 3 years into Batman's career. Okay, now granted it didn't have that creepy, scary factor to it, but it was still an enjoyable game. Okay? Arkham Knight will never live up to its predecessors. It will never be anywhere near as good as Arkham City. And Rocksteady knows Arkham City is one of their best all-time selling games. That's why they remastered it and released it for the PS4, which I do own. So I get what they're trying to do, but there could have been many different ways you could have went about this game. Like I said, it focused more on the Scarecrow rather than Jason Todd. They should have stuck with the original title, City of Fear, and it would have made more sense. There's a lot in this game. I feel like they just pulled this out of their ass. Laziness. And yet again, with creativity, I have a problem with it, man. Other than, is the game bad? Yeah, it's bad. But it's also a good game to play just for the hell of it, for pastime. Like I said, the mechanics are great, it handles good, the graphics are nice, and you get to play as the Batmobile. We haven't had that in the game in a good long time. The last time we really got to go around in the Batmobile was from the Batman and Robin game during the PS1 days, from the movie. And that's about the only time that we ever got to play within the Batmobile. So, is it really worth getting? Well, no, it's not. It's not worth getting, but doesn't mean you still can't have fun playing around in the game during your past free time. You don't have to play the missions all the time, the main story mode, because it doesn't go anywhere. You can horse around here and there with it, but it still doesn't go anywhere. And that are my feelings. Especially going towards with the Telltale company and what they've been doing lately. But that's a video for another time, because we'll get into that. Well, that's a video for another time. And but I don't know what the problem is with them, and I really want to focus on that. If those that ain't familiar, they know they had a Batman game that is out, and also with the Walking Dead series. Like I said, that's a separate video. But the Arkham Knight, it's dust, pretty much. And this is what bothers me, especially with the new Batman game that Rocksteady's working on. Is it going to be... I hope they go into it way better than this game. And it bugs me, because is it going to be good? How's it going to run? How is it going to play? How is the storyline going to be where you can be drawn into it? Okay, where you can be invested into it? Or is it going to be something thrown together and slopped and half-assed like Arkham Knight? That is my main concern. I understand that they want another best-selling game like Arkham City. A game like Arkham City comes once in a lifetime, okay? You're not going to beat your top best-selling game, which is Arkham City. And everyone can agree with that. Even I can. But only time will tell. And like I said, it's not worth getting, but it's worth playing for pastime, and it's up to you. Even your hardcore Batman fan can still appreciate the game, even for what it is. But me, it's not worth me getting again, and I probably wouldn't down the line anyways. Now I do have, Asylum City and Origins, 360, then the remastered ones for the PS4. So I'll get it just to add it to the collection, but I'm not gonna play it because I really did, when I was playing it. I'm gonna be honest, I really lost interest in it in like not even 3 days, and that's how bad it was. It's worth getting that to the collection for your series, since there's a new one coming up. But it's bad when you start losing interest in about 2 days in the game as you're playing it. And that's saying a lot. I'm not sure how much more I can go to trying to explain it. It's just, Arkham City, it is what it is. I do appreciate some of their skins they got. And the Riddler stuff can be totally written out. And they could have did something else with them. And if they really felt this was going to be the final time Bruce Wayne was going to be Batman, they really could have focused and written in some to where, look, Catwoman, Batman both give in, both know each other's identity, and could officially hooked up. That's what they're going for, might as well. But we'll never see that, and we'll probably never know who Bruce Wayne got pregnant, because Damian Wayne is his son. And in this game, Talia al Ghul, she never mentioned anything about a kid. So how are they going to introduce that in this storyline if he's already older? Yet again, problem yet again, something else I got a problem with. Or what they could do, they could flip it, right? They could flip it like Telltale flipped what they did. This is what they did to Vicky Dale. Rather than Vicky Dale being good, she was they really focused on her being an orphan, her having some mental issues, her being a psychopathic serial killer. Hit it well. She was the leader of the children of Arkham, and you have to take her down. That was creative, but they did a whole twist turn. That was very well done. So what I would like to see with this one to explain who his mother is, rather than because Talia al Ghul is the mother of Damian Wayne. Since she died and her and Batman never got to that quote unquote point of that relationship because it was so off and on, they can have it to where Batman and Catwoman, who was damn I forget the character's actual name, to where they had a child named Damian Wayne. That would be creative. Nobody would see that coming. Okay, they just did more of the creative side on that level, and sit back for a while and look back. Okay, let's get some other creativities. Do this, do that, because let's be honest, they do not want to repeat this formula which they did with Arkham Knight, and they don't want any more bad reviews because they do want another hit game like Arkham City. And that's as much as I can say. So these are my thoughts, my feelings on the Batman Arkham Knight. And I'm out.